Hey guys, Adam here from ADM Motors and Nuts About 4 Drive. Thank you for your support last season. I just want to welcome you to Season 3. Today I'm going to talk to you about wiring up a aerial for a UHF, which all of us have to do at some point. Basically, when we have an aerial cable, we usually get cable and this little connection that we have here. We need to know how to wire that up and solder it in and everything from there so that we get a good connection, good signal. The little wire that we have is called a coaxial. It's hard to see from there, but in the coaxial cable I've cut the other end from you. It's actually two wires in one. So what you've got is an outer wire and then inside a sheath, and then it's actually got an inner wire in there as well. So that needs to be then wired into this connection. You can see here that this connection comes in two pieces. This is the piece that screws into the back of the actual UHF. It needs to go onto the cable, but you need to put it on the cable before you solder this other connection, otherwise you won't get it in position afterwards. And of course the other end has the old aerial base on it and it's on the other side of the car. So that needs to go on in the right direction first. From here, then you need to put this, this actual connection on. Now, what I do is I usually just grab a pair of cutters like this and I just cut just very, very gently. I'm not cutting, I'm just using it to splice or cut into the outer section. Once I've done that, you can actually pull that outer section off and expose the inner part of the cable from here. If you just pull that up, you'll see that then you expose the inner part. If you want to, you can try and get a rough sort of length, but length doesn't matter too much because once you've actually assembled the whole thing, you've got the opportunity then to sort of cut it down to size if you need to afterwards. But again, just very, very gentle because you don't want to cut through the whole cable, and you just sort of open that end up so that you can pull the inner part of the cable off from there. Okay, give it a bit of a twist just so that it doesn't come apart, right? And then what you can do is you'll notice on the end of the other end there, it's actually threaded. So what you actually do is you push down or bunch down the cable in the bottom, put this actually on and through that section, and if you then just screw this area, the aerial part into the outer one, it'll actually screw up and lock itself in position in the top. Once that's done, then you need to secure this other part to it, which is the use of the soldering iron, which I've already got sort of heated up here. You stab a bit of solder onto the end, and you can then just heat up, warm up and solder this into position. Alright, so that'll go on there. If you've got a little bit of excess solder, don't worry too much, you can just clean it up with a bit of heat. And as I was saying before, it's a bit too long now, which is not a problem. Cut the end off from there. So if you need to, you might need to just rub that up with some sandpaper just to get any excess solder off. And you can grab the outer part here and screw it on there, and then that is now ready to put into the UHF and actually screw it home into position. Again, one quick tip is that what I would suggest is always put your aerial connection into the UHF first before you actually connect up power, because what I find is that it actually helps to ground the unit. It can actually damage it by powering it up without the UHF aerial connection in there. So always connect that up first and have the aerial mounted. Do that first. Apart from that, I really hope this helps. Thanks again for your support. If you get a chance, check us out on our online store at nutsabout4drive.com.au. Also give us a like on our Facebook site if you can. Stay on all fours and go nuts.